Hello, fellow watchers and LGBTQ plus enjoyers. This is Pride Month, so get your tits out. Woo, Pride Month. Swing around the flag, and do stuff that you normally do in Pride Month. Storm the city with your gayness and your sassiness, and show everyone that you're loud, proud, and here, and tell the government to fuck off. You're not taking away our rights because it's Pride
Yeah,
Month, and I know
it
people
is
will
fun.
People might get mad, but who cares? It's Pride Month. The military get 3 fucking months. If it, and black and we get Black History Month. So why shouldn't Pride get a month?
He's bringing this up after about 2 years of it being relevant. That one video that he watched about 9 months ago that he quoted for the next three. Fuck off. But no, it is Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everyone. As to be expected, we're not gonna change the Watching Walford like color to be rainbow. We have a wrestling channel that's logo is a Pride NWO logo. So I think we're doing just fine, and we're both pretty active allies in general. Also, I will say, when you did say LGBTQ, you missed out the IA plus, you little bastard. You missed out me. You missed out me. All right.
You're not important, love. You're not important. I'm only messing. You're important too, Ash. But yeah, this is about gay people in soaps. Not Hollyoaks, the gayest soap. This is the straightest soap known to man. If you dare bring the gayders in, we will fight the agenda. We will fight. We will storm the beaches of the East End and fucking tell
Yeah,
Julie Smith and whatever the
woke
fuck
for
the other man's name
views is
is.
the word that some people use, which I think is absolutely ridiculous.
What you saying?
I mean, I've got a big chunk of stuff on this simply because, look, as someone, I am I am a part of the old alphabet club. I'm involved. I'm a part of the LGBTQIA plus club, as expected. I'm asexual. I'm allowed to have an opinion about these sorts of things. I like to cherish how far gay rights and like LGBTQ rights have come in a short period of time, and that's why whenever it's in my soaps or in my media, I fucking love it. All right, it's great because fundamentally, these relationships should be broadcast. But the main fucking issue about LGBT couples and soaps is someone always fucking dies at the end. It's like, oh, this is nice and wholesome. They're dead. It's like, oh, why? Why are you doing this to us? Oh, this really emotional couple. They broke up because the one cheated on the other. Like, oh, it's like the amount of times it's like, all right, it's like the first. I think it's the first gay wedding in soap was in Neighbours, and you have Aaron and David, and they get married, and it's beautiful. And then they're married for like a couple of years, and oh, fucking Aaron's dead, David's dead, and it's like, guys, can we just get one couple that makes the distance, please? And I think one of the only ones was the only one of the only couples in soap that has actually made the distance is Christian and Saeed, and that's because they've never fucking been brought back.
Don't forget the other
That's because
lads.
they've not been on screen to ever get mentioned again.
What? What about Barry and he? What about Barry?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure even they broke up in the middle because they didn't want to be happy.
Fair enough.
Like at some point, I think it was Barry who returned, but I don't remember. At some point, they returned, and then it was at Dot's like funeral, and it's like, oh, me and Barry haven't split up. Um, and then like he appears without Barry, and then obviously Colin returns for Dot's funeral, and then is picked up by Barry, and they got back together, and it's like, can we just have a bit of peace? Can we have one couple that's together? And I get why everybody is so like everybody defends these characters because, like, look, what happened with Ben and Callum? One of the most like polarizing ships in the last couple of years. Well, they broke up and they are now off screen and they aren't allowed to be happy anymore. I get it, all right. I get it. We've all been there. We've all had these relationships that we adore, and I get protecting it and cherishing it whilst it's still there. And that's why Shuki and Eve has kind of taken up the mantle of being a LGBTQIA plus relationship, a lesbian relationship, which is also important because it is two older women and two women from different backgrounds. And I completely get why it's as kind of polarizing as it is. Yeah, that's my initial bit.
Anyways, without further ado, 5 minutes in, let's fucking do it, lads. Anyways,
I will say, as a test, is my microphone being picked up on your microphone?
is it?
I think there might be a chance.
It might be.
Especially when I was fucking talking like this.
Okay, let me just quickly turn down Discord. Hello?
Hello! It's still kind of getting picked up.
Oh.
It's the slight problem. Obviously, we don't entirely know, but... I mean, this is why you need some headphones. I said, this is why you need some headphones. But you probably just pause the video and we can sort out this little fucking tech problem.
We are back. Sorry for the delay. I've got some headphones.
Piggy's,
Ash is very quiet in my ear. I feel like this is all I'm hearing.
And you also only have one ear on as well, I will
say. Yeah, I can't have
quiet in your ear. You only have one ear on.
Look, my dad said these are some finicky headphones, alright, so...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all good. I think, with that being said, my main point about the gay relationships is none of them go the distance. Like, none of them ever go the distance. All of them are so close, but so far away, because it's like, oh, they're happy, and the actor wants to leave, so they're gonna die now. It's like, sounds. But you could probably read the Reddit thread.
In EE, over the last few years, we've had plenty of gay relationships. Ben and Paul, Ben and Callum, Sonia and Tina, Sonia and Naomi, Johnny and Ben, one nighter, Suki and Eve, Stephen and Christian, almost. But none of these couples went or have gone the distance yet. Our only hope is Suki and Eve, but I'm talking about seeing them go 20 years, and I'm not sure that'll happen. I'd really love to see a past couple having survived the test of time. I know everyone roots for Suki and Eve, but they're not the most likable of characters and the nicest representation of a lesbian couple I've seen on EastEnders. But Della and Barney? So I supposed to say Barney.
I don't know. No, I assume it's some characters that we don't know.
Okay. I'd actually love if they came back and the relationship had lasted all this time. I love when Colin and Barry rocked up. I love to see how Christian and Saeed are getting on. And I still hope that Simon and Tony met it.
Oh, that's Simon and Tony, not Colin and Barry. All right. I'm back. Okay, keep going.
And have been together for over 20 years. It just seems like a gay relationship is finite. It's finite in EE. Well, all relationships...
Finite, yeah. Just finite.
Well, all relationships are now... But to see a couple who have really gone the distance, I'd really appreciate it. And I'd love to see one of these couples back. Here's some photographs. Look at these lovely gays. Look at this guy. This is a handsome man.
Saeed, Christian, Barry and Colin. Baldy and Colin. Oh yeah, classic.
Sonia and Naomi.
That's not Sonia. I guess that maybe that's Della and Binny or whatever the fuck. I don't know. It must be in like my little. I'll have a little like search, but it's in my Della and Binny. Oh, they're in the 90s. Yeah, it's my blind spot. I don't know, fucking clue. Apparently, Della was the first like lesbian character to be featured on the show in EastEnders. So, yeah, but the 90s are my blind spot. I don't know, but yeah, keep going.
As Juice Bacon Sandwich comment, everyone roots for Suki and Eve, but they're not the most likable of characters and the nicest representation of a lesbian couple I've seen on EE. It's the most realistic representation of a WLW I've seen on television since Helen and Nikki and Bad Girls, perhaps even more so, because they actually have an in real life lesbian in one of the roles, which brings an authenticity to the story. Don't mind me asking, do you identify as male or female? In my experience of seeing the people I'm conversed with who think the Sucky and Eve pairing isn't what they view as being lesbian. It's like are neither female or a lesbian slash queer themselves, and I have no experience of what really entails.
That's fair enough. I think that's quite. I mean, it's been a slow burn, slow relationship where obviously Suki had to come out to get to this point, and it's not an easy step. Everybody has to go on a journey to get there eventually. So, I think it's definitely a better view. But also to respond to that thing, I don't necessarily think you have to be gay or a lesbian or queer to understand like an LGBT pairing. But it also does definitely help. Because unsurprisingly, I don't know what it's like to be a lesbian. I'm asexual.
I'd assume being
But
a lesbian is kind of the same as being gay.
yeah, that's the point. That's the point. We don't really know. But we can have our opinions on how we'd like it to go. But fundamentally, the core group of people who are going to understand and are going to know like how it works. Yeah. Keep going.
Right. Card carrying lesbian here. And love or hate Suki, who the hell doesn't like Eve? It's one of the best and most realistic portrayals ever done on telly. Full stop. Never mind EastEnders. It's also insanely refreshing because it covers so many angles that aren't considered. And does it properly. Coming out late in life, religion that isn't Christian, all this. Race, culture, grown kids, even the fact they're not both feminine. One blonde, one brunette. While both actors are stunning, this is very clearly no male glaze inside. These two for once. Blokes don't think they're hot. So that's where a lot of the not realistic objection I've seen has come from, lol. These two are
I
head and shoulders above the rest, and I generally can't fathom anyone who thinks otherwise, and I've yet to see my female queer who disagrees. Who the hell does like Eve? Nish.
Um, I don't think. Maybe it's just me being cautiously optimistic. I don't know if people don't like Suki and Eve because it's not realistic. I don't think that's just a bunch of like angry woman hating lesbian haters. Like, I'm not entirely sure about that. Like, I appreciate the standpoint, and it is something very genuine, and it's something that like this group of people will share, like lesbians will share, and queer people will share. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm just not a big fan of like the only we understand, and it's like yeah, but it's not like it's not like we can understand. Like it's not like some people will never try, and that's fuck those people. But I don't feel like I don't know. It feels like it paints a much worse view. To me, it sounds like they're saying if you don't like it, you just don't understand, and it's like that's not always the case. Maybe that's not exactly the point, but keep going. That's just a little fucking tidbit. Maybe I'm just being fucking a dick. Who knows?
I think it's like fish fingers, honestly. Like some people don't like fish fingers. You can't hate the people who like fish fingers. Just because I don't understand why my cousins got fish fingers doesn't mean I can't enjoy them. You know?
That is an analogy. Don't really know if that relates. That just sounds like you want to start thinking about the Playmobil set again, but I'll allow it. Keep going.
I know, mate. Wait till I show you this footage. Wait till I show you this footage because this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen. It's just you talking about the lesbians, and it's just deadpans to me, which makes it so much better.
Keep going. Keep going.
He discovered Reddit. Ah, bless. Not a fully fledged lesbian here. A fully fledged lesbian.
I mean, I can't lie. I can't lie. Saying you're bisexual on the internet is a bit of a risk. Like, I'm not saying bi people get fucking bad rap, but the gays don't like the bis, and the lesbians don't like the bis, and sometimes even the bisexuals don't even like the bis. It's a melting pot, boys. It's not like
just to read on it, mistaken from nice 90. Not a fully
I say
fledged
this fully
lesbian yet.
as a member of the LGBTQIS plus community. I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying my observations. It's jokes. It's jokes.
But I'm bi, and I've had several relationships with women. I would say Suki and Eve are quite an accurate portrayal of the British queer community too. There's a lot more Sukis out there than people realise, and I think Eve is perfect. Okay, we've another lesbian chiming in. As an older
Wait, if
lesbian,
anyone's allowed to comment on these on this topic, it's definitely members of the gay community.
hmm?
I said if anybody's allowed to comment, it definitely is members of the gay community. Like,
I do agree. So after top rope comes this Chesterly lesbian. As an older lesbian, I enjoy the older lesbian stories. Don't know. I've always seen a few older women come out IRL, and like seeing it portrayed, it's sucky. I thought it was very authentic. I also was mad for Vanessa and Charity for the same reasons, and the fact that I've been in a bit of love with Charity for about 20 years. Here comes a
yeah, I
fucking
will say that's that the Vanessa and Charity thing. They were a couple that got together and then they were like cruelly split up for no reason because the other one went on maternity leave, and it's kind of been readdressed, but not really.
And now a pug chimes in. Look at that lovely pug. I'm a woman, and I think both Suki and Eve are unlikable characters. I don't root for them as a couple. I used to like Eve, but she acts so whiny and sanctimonious lately. I think both Eve and Suki are unlikable characters. Does that affect your viewpoint in the discussion of realistic representation, though? I'm genuinely curious, because when it comes to understanding the nuances of representation on the show, personal experience is everything.
I do. I will say I fully agree with what Awkward Bag is saying though. Like there's a difference between saying if you like the characters and if you just believe that it's good representation. Because as being discussed, it is two different things. Whether it's realistic doesn't mean it's likable. It's like when EastEnders was trying to be like, oh, Ben and Callum's relationship's just two working class lads, and it's like, yeah, but that's not how you framed it. Like, you're framing it as this beautiful coming together story. That's not what it is. But yeah.
Okay, here comes another challenger into the Royal Rumble. I really want to see Suki and Eve go the distance. I love how they incorporate the story not only about Suki struggling with her sexuality personally, but also for religious reasons. This is something that is common, not spoken about often, especially on TV or soap. I love how their love for each other triumphed all, and they are now living life as their true selves and have their family support. Eve is one of my all-time fave characters. There's actual chemistry that works between them so well on set, even if they are just mates in real life. Good old Bev and Heather.
Um, I yeah, I do somewhat agree with that. I think that they do have chemistry. They do get along quite well. It's quite a bold take to say E's one of your favorite characters of all time. Um, I don't quite like if we're looking at it from like an objective perspective, I don't think Eve's there. I don't think her body of work is really warrant her being one of the best. But it's a personal view, so I'm not gonna fucking
I
ridicule them for
mean,
saying they like their character. Like in the grand scheme of things, probably not one of the best, but I understand why they like the character. And I do agree they have managed to pave the way for this storyline in a realistic sense, and they've done a good job. Because like some people go on a journey with their sexuality, right? Some people discover, oh, this is who I am, and then you gradually get used to it, and you gradually move forward, and you have to kind of right some of the wrongs you've ended up being in, like it's not right for Suki to have to be with Nish when she's clearly in love with Eve. Like it's it has been written with a lot of care. Yeah.
okay, I will continue. A new challenger has approached. I think you'll find it's not just the gay relationship. This guy, ST Pony, said, I did say what all relationships are now.
Yeah,
Sucky
no,
and
fair
Eve,
enough. Yeah, it's very hard to find. It's hard to point at a couple and say they've lasted for 20 years. Like, most of the couples who were together have just been absolutely murked. So, even
Alfie and Cam.
straight relationships, or like who could you point on the show who has actually never split up over the last 20 years? I don't think anyone.
Ben and Callum. Sucky and Eve, I expect to last forever.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you cut out. I would love a Saeed and Christian return from them to both be a stable couple on the square. Maybe even with Yasmin too, as she'd be around 13 now. Because so she could be friends with Lily, Afani, etc. I think it's only possible for characters to have a long-term, happy, successful relationship when they're off screen, though. I would love.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah, I will say I mean, it's why I think it's why EastEnders has started to make a bit of a thing to have some characters just leave off screen, and then they live their fucking best life until they come back, and then shit hits the fan again. Like, and I would love to see Saeed and Christian back. But you're telling me they're not just gonna do it. They're not just gonna decide. Ah, you guys are over after 15 years because we need drama. Like, sorry lads, I can't trust. I love EastEnders. I can't trust you to handle gay couples correctly. Like, it's not you. It's me. Soaps just have a problem. Like, yeah. How long's this video gone so far?
21 minutes.
All right, just quick fire through some final
I'll
bits.
just
And then
scroll down. If you see any you like, just fucking shabba.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thread.
No, that's it. But yeah, I think if we ever did Christian and Saeed, just like bring them back for a week. Bring them back for a week. Show that they're happy. Show that because from what we know, they're about living their best life in Birmingham with an adoptive kid, I think. Just show them, just have them rock up, maybe when Jane returns, if Christians show up with Saeed, have them have a good time and actually prove that they have a very nice and not sustainable, but a genuine love, and they still have that love like 10, 15 years on. Because we need some victories, as the whole point of this video has been made. Soaps aren't kind to gay characters. Sounds controversial when I say it like that, but the amount of gay characters who have died on shows just as they were happy is fucking unbelievable. But yeah, there we are. That's all from me.
Yeah, just to cut to me now, I look like a fucking emo with these headphones on. I tell you what, my friend, it's not suited. But this has been another episode of Piggy's Radio, Piggy's Reddit. Piggy reads your Reddit comments. I don't know what I'm naming this. This is going to my radio station now.
Excluding me in there.
Just to switch back so you can see both of us.
I'd say it's more like Agony Aunt is how I'd describe it.
This has been fun. This has been one of the gayest, I'd say, one of the gayest experiences I've ever had. I haven't had many gay experiences,
I've had a few.
But without further ado, I guess we must bid you a goodbye, a good night, and a farewell. Gay